and welcome to another episode of Covideo Connection. I'm Aaron, and this is Back to the Future Week. So at the end of episode 2, we see the DeLorean and Doc get struck by lightning, and we find out that he ends up in the Old West in 1885. Marty, however, is still stuck in 1955, and so he gets help from the Doc of 1955 to help uncover the time machine that Doc of 1885 hides to get Marty home. And it's near a cemetery, and that's where Marty discovers Doc's tombstone, and he's shocked by this. But here's the thing. We don't know Doc's age, but let's be kind, and let's say he was at the youngest 50. Probably a lot older, but let's say he was 50. In 1885, that means in 1955, he would have been 120. So he probably wouldn't have been alive anyways, and yet Marty was shocked. Now, sure, they find out that the reason why he died is because he got shot in the back by Buford Tannen, and so Marty decides to rescue him. But here's the thing. We're all mortal. We're all eventually going to die. I think some of us feel that, if we can just find that right medicine or whatever, that we're going to live forever and ever, even if we can travel through time. But the fact is, we're eventually mortal. We will die. We only have one life to live, and that life really should be focused on finding Jesus and God. Now, that's not to say once we have Christ in our heart, we all go jump off a cliff. If there's blood pumping in our veins, that means God has a purpose for our lives. And that's the most important thing to remember, that we're alive, that God wants us to be alive, but that we shouldn't fight death. We shouldn't be afraid of death if we have Christ in our hearts, because we know we're not going down there, that we're going to spend eternity with God in heaven.
Don't even ask me what I thought would happen.
Die! Oh, they're already dead.
Hi everybody, it's your old pal Timothy with another Bible verse. Today we look at Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 2. Everyone will die someday. Death comes to godly and sinful people alike. It comes to good and bad people alike. It comes to clean and unclean people alike. Those who offer sacrifices and those who don't offer them also die. I guess everyone dies.
Lorraine, have you ever noticed how Marty looks just like that guy you liked in high school who also happened to be named Marty?
I have no idea how that happened.
Marty, get in the car! We need to go screw up the universe again!
So a piece of memorabilia from Back to the Future I'm going to show you today is the comic book. So I actually have the original #1 issue of Back to the Future, just like a regular thin comic. But then they combined a lot of the first issues into these graphic novels, and there's now a series of them. But this is the first issue within this graphic novel, and this is the first graphic novel that they released. And again, I also have the actual comic too, #1 issue. So yeah, it's kind of cool to read stories about Doc and Marty's origin, as well as other stories involving the Back to the Future theme. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll see you tomorrow.